Hello ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? It's your boy Izza33 welcoming you to another Anarchy analysis matchup. Today, we're finally getting round to the quarterfinals. We're covering top esports versus Fnatic in game number 1 of this best of 5 series to determine who advances in the semi-finals to face Suning Gaming. Now, these two teams are looking very strong. More in particularly, top esports have been very dominant in this tournament so far, especially looking at their group stages. Realistically, they've beat everyone in their group at least once and absolutely smashed all of the teams in it. As for Fnatic, they had a bit of a rougher road, I would say. They finished second in their group in Group C, behind Gen G, who was the Korean rep in that group that actually did phenomenally well. Obviously, if we look at the table and the schedule for the rest of the quarterfinals, Gen G face off against G2, and then you have the other LCK reps facing off against each other in Damwon and DRX in the other semi-final. Now, Fnatic versus Top is what we're looking forward to today, and as you can see, the rosters are on the screen right now, and you look at these two lineups and there's a lot of history between a lot of these players. Obviously, you've got JackeyLove, the former IG player, playing off against the Fnatic squad that he beat to his World Championship in 2018. As we load up into the draft for game number 1, Top is on blue side, Fnatic on the red side. Interestingly, we should be expecting to see bans on the likes of the Jhin, something that Reckless is known for. The Syndra, obviously, being a big pick, Lucian as well. Possibility of Nidalee ban as well from these two teams, but obviously Volley and Syndra, first two bans respectively of either side. TF coming through as well from Top. And we should be getting some big boy picks coming through at least for these two teams. Lucian being removed off the field now, and I'd expect possibly the last ban, or yeah, there we go from Top, removing control mages out of the Nemesis pool. Realistically, Nemesis's pool hasn't been challenged too much here at Worlds, as people see he's one of the weaker members on this Fnatic squad in terms of champions he can play, and he's going to be tested in this series, I feel, in what he can whip out and show to basically beat this top esports squad. Now, first pick, Graves is going to come through here for Top, which is obviously the priority jungler in the current meta. Usually you expect to see Fnatic responding with a Kindred as the kind of counter pick that everyone goes to when it's a Graves. Now obviously this Kaiser hover isn't realistically what's going to be coming through, and interestingly enough, Fnatic locking in this center pick first. Now, that is probably because JackeyLove has realistically only been showing the center pick as one of his strong suits here at Worlds this year. And they're kind of saying, hey, you should probably pick that Ashe or even the Jhin that's left available as the two other big picks that go into this center. Now obviously, center does have a lot of scaling, and what's more, they'll have two AD carries with the Kindred coming in next to it. That's going to work exceptionally well into the Graves. You just have to get going early, picking up their marks. Once you hit 4 marks, realistically Kindred becomes a champion. It is very, very dangerous to duel up against. And with that Lamb's Respite, you've got to be wary of trying to burst her out, because she can just pop that and turn a fight around completely. Now, look at Top's first half of the draft being completed right now. The Ezreal and the Zoe coming up. And on the Fnatic side of things, the Galio is going to be the pickup for Nemesis here. And with that pickup, you usually expect Top to ban out the likes of the Camille in the top lane. Even a Renekton being available could be banned out here as well. And that should kind of nullify the threat that this Galio provides. On the Fnatic side of things, they should be banning out the likes of the Yuumi that can compare well with this and possibly the banning of the Leona. That would make a lot of sense, unless they're going to first pick it, exiting this second ban phase. But top side of things, they removed the Shen, so they're targeting out Bwipo's pool. They've already banned out his two most played champions at Worlds this year, the Volley being his ultimate top pick. He's played that a lot. he's dominated on it. I know he got it twice against TSM and won twice on it. It's a very powerful pick. And the Bard's the last ban coming out from Fnatic, so realistically I'd expect top maybe to throw a support ban at the Leona here if they don't want to concede it, but they are going to ban out that Camille that we hinted towards earlier on. Fnatic now have a choice of supports. They either want to lock it in now or go for the count pick. Pantheon is also up and available for either team, so it might be just a trade of these powerful supports. And I would honestly say that favours Hylissang here, who's known for being a very aggressive support player. He likes these Nautilus picks, and it's actually could be this Rakan coming in for Fnatic. They're not going to go towards that Leona, who can essentially counter this kind of Rakan pick that's come in. Top could probably pivot towards that and actually show some strength. But obviously they're hovering the Lulu that can be flexed topside and saying, hey, 369, he's going to play this top and he's going to put an absolute menace against you, force you into a bad situation there, Bwipo, and not be able to deal with him. Now, this TAS squad is actually going to round out their draft with the Leona, which we were harking on about being a big counter to the Rakan, and the Ornn, which has been a staple top laner in this current meta. Obviously, the scaling he provides to the team by giving them ornaments, and the power of his kit being very strong, and that's a Singed. Wow, I was not expecting to see Singed at Worlds, ladies and gentlemen, and we get to talk about the poison man himself. He brews up some alchemy in that top lane, and this is a pick that you wouldn't kind of know Bwipo for. Yes, he can bring out these unconventional picks. I remember him bringing out Rengar in the top lane and absolutely decimating teams on it. And this is kind of funny because 369 is known for being this kind of unconventional top laner that can bring out carries. Well, Bwipo's bringing out the guy that can proxy farm behind the enemy turret and essentially make this lane basically unplayable for the Ornn, because Ornn will not be able to leave his turret. And the great thing about Singed is he has a lot of tick damage. You stack that up with a Liandry's, you're basically going to be ticking down the enemy quite easily, and he's going to burn away. And Singed obviously has a lot of resistances in his kit. Obviously his ultimate provides a lot of stat boosts as well as a bit of movement speed, and movement speed is something you may see a lot of Singed go towards. I think Righteous Glory would be a good pickup after Liandry's into an Ornn, and most of this top squad, obviously with it being a Graze in the top half of the map in the jungle, you'd expect at least one itemization to armor from this Singed, who can just build Righteous Glory, get that movement speed buff that he gets off that. Deadman's Plate also being a very good item, go towards that as well. But it's going to be intriguing to see how Fnatic play around this Singed in the top lane, because he is kind of this unconventional carry. As he does a ton of damage, he's not realistically known for being the best tank in the meta, though he is kind of a tank. And as we look at the map right now, we could see the possibility of a lane swap. Obviously the lines of skirmish has been drawn, and we can actually take a check into the rune pages here. Nothing out the ordinary. I would say the Conqueror is a bit unusual for a Singed, as the Dark Harvest is one that we've normally seen, as it just gets very easy to proc the Dark Harvest gaining of the soul, because you just have the poison ticks get the extra damage for you as a whole. As the rest of the map looks, it is Predator Galio as well, actually, instead of maybe the likes of an Unsealed Spellbook or even Phase Rush. It's the more I want to hunt you down off of a TP build rather than this I'm looking to all in you and chase you down in lane from showing. It's more gank heavy, more roam heavy, I would say it favours as a pick. and realistically, it's going to be something Top has to be wary about, obviously, with the heroic entrance coming in from that Galio. It's going to be quite hard for Top to have to play around it, as the rest of the map is very, very, I'd say, Fnatic favoured. Now, we are getting on screen a good showing of the rune page for this Singed, obviously the Conqueror being fully stacked, and we look at this picture-in-picture, we are going to see, I don't know what we're looking at here. Is it the gank start for the two laners? Anyway, we are seeing this Graves being forced to flash early, getting caught out in the Fnatic jungle, means that the free jungle flash being burnt is a huge thing for Fnatic. It means that they're less likely to be ganked early on, unless it's a surefire kill for Top. Then there's less action needed from them. Anyway, bottom side of the match, we are going to see Rakan get a bit of a knock up onto the two carries of this top esports squad. And top side, we're just seeing Bwipo walking around the minion wave, putting bits of poison down, getting as much CS as possible, because Ornn's just bonking him on his head constantly. Now, as things stand, we are seeing kind of a steady early game. Nothing really out of the ordinary, other than this Singed actually farming up well. He's putting a bit of a trade down onto this Ornn. Kindred is hovering around this wave. Wasn't spotted, I don't think, but Ornn, actually she was. That ward in the river brush would have spotted her out, and Ornn playing it smart, backing away slightly, keeping himself alive. Mid lane, Zoe putting the harass down onto Galio. Obviously this would be expected because of the fact that Zoe has the range advantage, and with Graves constantly pathing in and out of mid lane, trying to secure Scuttle Crabs, he will get the double Scuttle here as well. And with Ujanja actually hovering around that river, stopping Fnatic's bot lane going anywhere near this Scuttle Crab, it will be a secure for Karsa in the jungle. Also interesting to note is the actual vision game that Top have actually set up for this early game. They've more than likely had self-made in their vision for most of this early game. As we look at this top fight, Singed is losing health quite quickly. He's going to put the poison down and force the flash away. Ornn, though, will keep himself alive as bottom side. Rakan's going in with the W. That is going to be the center W landing, and that's forcing the flash out of Jakilov. Cleanse also burnt by Reckless there, and that's first blood over to Fnatic. Goes over to Hylissang on the Rakan, and that is a big first blood pickup for this Fnatic lineup. I'm going to have to see how that kicked off. Obviously, we saw the Rakan enter into the fight with his W, knocking him up, but all of the summoners now unavailable for the Fnatic bot lane, and all of the summoners, bar the flash on Uganja, being burnt by Top. Topside map now, we're seeing Ornn and Graves looking to make a play onto Singed. Singed, though, isn't having any of it, as the TP is going to come in from this Galio, going to land a taunt onto one, flinging back the Graves into this Fnatic squad, but here comes Zoe, looking to get the kill. The paddle style will not land, and she's looking to chase down Singed. Sleeper Trouble Bubble will land, has got the exhaust, does not need to use it just yet, and she picks up the kill, trading 1-for-1 across the map here at Top Esports, as the gold lead goes to Top now. And what can Fnatic get in response? As the mid laners are now on top side, that means that the Singed and the Ornn likely to go to mid. Yeah, we go, 2 TPs burnt there, and Selfmade hovering around this Ornn, possibility of making a play as bot side. Jagilov's just being chunked out by the Fnatic bot lane. Where is Uganja? As the Call of Vortigod is going to be using mid lane. We haven't seen the start of this. Bellows Breath will not matter, and he's burnt down. There's going to be a trade of kills once again. Singed managed picks up the Ornn, but Graves picks the Singed off, and trading back and forth by these two squads right now, being very, very prevalent. This early game started off actually very slow, and it's actually picked up over the matter of minutes. We've literally gotten 4 kills in a matter of like 3 minutes, I'd say. And you can see the gold advantage coming through to top right now. As we look at the itemization coming out for the Zoe, obviously starting with the Lost Chapter and the Dark Seal, Corrupting Potion on top of that, with the boots as well, versus fully upgraded boots and a Doran's Ring. As bot side, Leona lands the Xerath's Blade onto Hylissang, but Hilly is quick on the trigger, proccing that Blasco and keeping herself safe. As we pan back up to the top side map, Singe, because he got that kill onto the Ornn, feeling a lot more confident in going for these trades. He's obviously picking up more and more CS, and it's actually roamed down, going to pick up this Sweet Fruit to pick up that health. And while that is going on, Graves is going to pick up the Mountain Drake for himself. Obviously, in about a minute's time, we are going to see the Herald come up. That being said, we see the Scuttlecrab going over to Fnatic, and the first mark of the game over to this Kindred, I do believe. Unless he got one off of that first fight that he was involved in the middle lane. I don't think he has any others. Anyway, we see a fight in this bot side. Xerath's Blade's going to land. That is this Senna being chunked up very low. Obviously, the E coming out from the Rakan trying to keep him alive. Zoe? Ezreal almost killing off the Hylissang there. One shot away, one Mystic shot would have taken him out from the field. Do not know if there's a True Shot Barrage available to Jackie Love yet, but Rakan manages to get back to base, looking to keep himself safe, and he's going to buy himself a Negatron Cloak, going to nullify some of the damage that's going to come out to him into the later part of the game. And it's interesting to note the boots that this Fnatic squad have gone towards. We've got two fully upgraded Mercury boots, one with Predator, one without, and that is going to be interesting to know because you actually look at the damage typing come out from this top esports squad. The Graves and the Ezreal are the main AD damage dealers, but the rest of this top squad are AP, and that is huge to note as they have got a lot of CC on top of it. The Leona stuns, they've got the Zoe Sleepy Trouble Bubble, the Ornn knockups. These Merc boots are going to do a lot of work for this Fnatic lineup, as the extra stun resistance that they provide means that they're essentially going to be in a bit of a bad position. Anyway, what we're seeing right now is a trading of objectives. Kindred's picking up a mark and a red buff. In return, Top are getting this Rift Herald, and Fnatic must know that it was going on. Obviously, the control ward showing this Fnatic ward in the river will know that they're basically getting that for free, and because of the fact that Graves is top side, Top have to play very respectful. Their bot lane's weak side, and Leona is not being respectful. She's going to be knocked up by the Quickening, Battle Dance back by the Rakan, and there we go. A lot of damage put down onto Uganja, and here comes the rest of the top. That's going to be a smoke screen onto this Kindred. Possibility of a kill going over. That's the Lamb's Respite being popped by Selfmade. Here comes the Rakan going in for the engage. Dawn Shadow is going to be used, and that is the Galio coming in from behind. Zoe getting knocked up by that, but the taunt comes through, and that's the first kill in this fight. Over to Fnatic as they kill off this Leona. Second kill for Reckless. He picks up a kill onto the Ezreal, and that's both of the top esports bot laners killed off. Meanwhile, Zoe manages to trade at least one kill as she kills off Selfmade's Kindred, who was almost certainly going to die after the Lamb's Respite got popped. Meanwhile, top side, yeah, this is Singed. This is what he does, proxy farming. That being said, he could be punished here as he's hit by Sleepy Trouble Ball, Paddle Star combo coming through. Ornn's here as well, that's Call of Forge God as well. Almost certainly he's going to die, but he flashes away from the knockup from the Call of the Forge God. He gets away with his life, and that proxy farming, and you can see Bwippo's reaction to that. He managed to get away scot-free, only have to burn a flash for basically a free wave. Anyway, we watch this fight again. All of the damage coming out from Graves nullified mostly by the Lamb's Respite. His collateral damage really did nothing, and because of the members of top stepping close enough to the center, he gets the double kill there, Reckless. Though Zoe manages to trade one back, and she's going to be a big threat. She's already 2-0 in this game, got herself a Ludens Echo, and Fnatic, how are they going to react to this? Obviously, Galio picking up that Hexet Revolver, going to go towards his Proto Belt, provide a bit more damage into the fights, and the itemization from Fnatic early has been mostly defensive. Other than the Senna building up her mana, she's basically the only big damage dealer for the early game fights. And that is a big thing to know, as the quickening is going to be used. That actually lands a charm onto Jaggedlove. He's forced to run away. He's first casualty of this fight, and Selfmade manages to pick that one up. He didn't put the mark though onto Selfmade before the fight. Sorry, he didn't put a mark onto Jaggedlove before that fight, and I'm getting names mixed up here, left, right, center. But obviously, kill goes over to Fnatic in the bot lane. They can challenge for this Drake free. And the bot lane also from Fnatic pushing into this turret. Graves is going to come over the wall. He's going to try and smoke screen the Drake, but he is gonna get denied the steal as Fnatic pick that one up for themselves. Meanwhile, top side, just poison things from Singed. Just going to clear this wave out quite easily. He is behind in CS, which is actually a shock. We haven't got to see full proxy farming Singed just yet. He isn't that strong enough, and considering the fact that this one already has that Abyssal's Helm, he's already very close to that ornament pickup for himself. And that's going to be very scary with that Balmy Cinder also picked up for himself. He's going to be very hard to deal with if the Singe is looking to trade 1v1 with that on. Anyway, we're looking across the map at the itemization by the teams here, as Kindred invading once again into the top esports squad. Going to pick up herself another mark. She's at least at 4 marks. And we could see the possibility of a fight here. Singe looks to be caught out. Ornn's going to miss the knock-up. Going to get flung back. Here comes Galio with his ultimate. Solfair's going to land, but the first kill of the fight goes over to Zoe on this top esports squad. Call Forge God's going to land, and that's a double kill to this Zoe, killing off Kindred there. And she is going to be an absolute menace in this fight, looking to pick up a third, forcing flash out from that Galio already. Going to use the flash that she just stole. Will not land a Sleepy Trouble Bubble, and that is going to be 2 kills to nothing in favor of top esports. That being said, we do see Reckless picking up first turret gold in bot lane. Nothing been responded to yet by top. Obviously, they used the Herald earlier in the mid lane to try and crack that one open. But we watch this fight again. Ornn and Leona just in the perfect position. They obviously knew that Kindred wanted to steal away the mark. Means that she's going to be immediately tracked down. Solar Flare and the stuns coming out onto Bwipo means he's unable to run riot through that teamfight. Lamb's Respite wasn't in time to keep him alive either. And because of the fact that there's more CC coming out from this top esports squad, they managed to pick up a double kill. And Kindred, I don't think was able to flash in that fight. And I don't think it realistically would have mattered if he did have it, because he would more likely have been chased down and hit by a Sleepy Trouble Bubble. But we're going to see a few turrets being traded here across the map, as that is going to be another turret picked up. Top managed to pick that one off in the top lane. And all of this gold is being funneled into Knight. He's already got 4 kills. He got first turret for this top esports squad. He got all the gold from that. And he also got the turret plates in mid lane because of the Herald usage. Now, maybe we see Caster start up that Rift Herald. He isn't going to do so, and yeah, look at the gold. He is being funneled tons. Similarly though, Reckless on the Fnatic squad, obviously he picked up first turret gold, the actual turret gold for that. And he's got himself 2 kills and 2 assists, so he's still relevant in this game for gold. And you have to be very wary, as he's already on 2 items. The Manamunate and the Ghostblade picked up is going to be very, very dangerous. And you don't want to fight a Senna on 2 items when your Ezreal realistically only has 1.5. The Sheen I would class as an item, but that Mammune as well, it isn't a full item yet. And looking at the Fnatic squad, I would say that it will be an Iceborne Gauntlet pickup for the Ezreal instead of Trinity Force, because of the fact that they've got quite a few melee champions on the Fnatic squad. Obviously Singed and Galio want to be running at this top squad and getting into the backline, but that's going to be very hard to do when there's an Iceborne Gauntlet picked up for an Ezreal who can just slow down the entire squad of Fnatic with them Qs and the autos. Anyway, as you saw flashing across your screen there, Kindred is on 4 marks. And 4 mark Kindred is an actual champion. So it's going to have to be very wary here, top, as this Kindred could look to burst out one of their carries if she manages to catch them out. Anyway, let's take a look at the map state as it stands. Top Esports ahead by 1k gold, looking to get this Cloud Drake. Gonna drop this Reptile bot side, will crack this one open, and boom, big hit. Should kill the turret eventually unless it targets the minions, and they're also gonna secure themselves the Cloud Drake. What are Fnatic gonna get in response? They're getting a lot of pressure topside, more than likely gonna pick up the top lane tier 1, as well as this mid lane tier 1 that we just see fall. There we go, both turrets falling, and Fnatic are ahead in terms of turrets. Liandry's also picked up here for the Singed. He's going to be an absolute menace in stopping basically lifestealing and burning down the targets of top esports quite easily. Harold manages to get a second charge onto the tier 2 turret there, and top are going to put a lot of pressure on this map now. They've opened up the bot lane and they've opened up the mid lane. Essentially the bottom half of the map belongs to them, and realistically you can see that as you should expect to see this Ezreal roaming either mid or bottom and looking to put pressure. Anyway, mid, we're going to see Soul Flare dodged by Reckless. He isn't going to be hit by that one just yet. Keep himself alive, and if that actually landed, almost certainly that would have been at least the cleanse and possibly the flash burn there. If the kill went over, that would have been a juicy shutdown gold over to probably Knight Zoe. He's realistically the one guy that they're funneling the gold into on top side. And Fnatic gonna concede this mid lane tier 1. That being said, TP is coming in from the Cinch. He's already in behind, and that's gonna... he's going to be forced into stopwatch early because he's just immediately jumped on by this top esports squad. Torn is going to land onto the Graves. He's forced to flash away. Singe is going to throw him back into fight, and that's the point in taking him down. Ornn's going to be killed off by the Kindred inside of things, and this is just Fnatic wiping the floor with top esports. This early into the game, I would say, is huge considering the fact that they've got more damage into the late game, I would say, than this top squad. And Knight looks to go very aggressive there. He does have the stolen away flash and his own flash available to himself, and he could look to burst out one of these carries on Fnatic's side of things. And realistically, there's no big objective that they could be fighting over at 20 minutes into the game. That was just a random fight. And we watch this again. Leona and Ornn camping the Singed TP, who was looking to get in behind. And Galio, he's smart. Once Singe gets there, he pops the ult immediately, and then the stopwatch burnt by Singe, keeps himself alive and running through the squad. That also means that because the Ornn and the Leona were there trying to knock up this Fnatic top laner, they're immediately targeted by Fnatic and get picked off. Pretty simple, easy to execute from Fnatic, and well done to actually execute this play. Now we take a look at itemization coming in from the squads. Ornn finally getting his ornament. He's got the Sunfire Cape and the Abyssal Helm. And on the side of Fnatic, the Singed has his Liandry's and is building up what I think may be a Banshees. He does have that stopwatch being burnt already, but he could go Rylai's. That would probably be the smart thing. Obviously, you want to slow down the carries of top and chase them down as a Singed. So slowing them down would essentially mean that he's going to be doing a lot more work and basically allowing his team to capitalize on the members of top basically not able to escape. Now, other items that we've seen coming through, it is going to be Stormrazor Kindred, which I'm actually intrigued by. Stormrazor isn't an item too commonly known for Kindreds. I'd possibly like to see an IE or even maybe lethality. But obviously, Stormrazor provides the crit first shot, and that's going to be huge if they're able to pick off one of the carries on top squad. Now, what we just saw there was Ornn upgrading the Lunt Sacco on this Zoe end. While I get you do it because you have it available to upgrade it, I would have preferred maybe the Death Cap or any of the other items that Zoe could pick up to be upgraded instead. But obviously, Lunt Sacco upgraded is just an immediate pop. Anyway, Rakan getting chipped out by the Zoe there will be forced to dance back to Whippo, who is hiding in this brush. He is unspotted. Zoe is looking to come in, and this is a fight for the soul point here if you're top. And Rakan's going to flash in. He's going to land the engage onto Ezreal. Jackalope is killed off immediately. And here comes Fnatic, killing off this top Esports squad. They've already picked off the jungler. More than likely, this is a one team fight for them. Senna is just firing in shots. Singed is running into the backline. He's going to be targeting out this Zoe, and that's another kill over to Fnatic. 3-0 here as they kill off that Leona as well. Ooh, that was big damage though, coming out from Zoe onto Senna there. But Senna healing him up with the piercing light, gonna keep her team alive. And Fnatic, with the 3 members dead on top squad, turning straight towards this Baron. Jungler is not there to contest. Ornn's there though, and the Zoe as well, looking to put down as much poke as possible to make this Fnatic squad reconsider their fight. Baron does go over to Kindred, and this could be another fight coming in from top. Senna going to be trading with the Zoe, who's flashing forward, trying to get as much damage as possible. And she gets chunked there, the Zoe. Bit of a change for Zoe actually getting chunked out instead of anyone else. And Senna is on 42 marks. 55% crit damage is huge. Almost at the 60s mark, which is going to be huge. Anyway, watching this fight again, Fnatic just pile all their ults, all the damage onto Jackalope. And once he's killed off the fight, what damage does this top Esports squad have other than the Zoe? Very minimal. Graves can't get anywhere near this. He's immediately killed off. And then with the Galio ult locking up the Leona, she's just fed to the Kindred, and Fnatic get away scot-free with the Baron and 5 members alive. That being said, they do lose out on the Cloud Drake, and top Esports are on Soul Point. However, Fnatic will use this Red Bull Baron play to the biggest of advantage, and look at the crit shot coming out from Senna there onto the Ezreal. Already got the rapid fire cannon and upgraded Manamune there. Means that the damage that Senna can pump out is huge. She also has that Ghost Blade as well, so the lethality damage as well being topped up on that. As we look across the map, at the map state now, Fnatic control the map. Nothing more, nothing less needs to be said about that. Fnatic in firm control of this game, already gaining 2.3 gold lead off of this Baron. It's huge, especially with the fact that they can continue to push down these tier 2 turrets on the side lanes. They already got the mid lane tier 2. They've just got one tier 2 actually left available to take, and that's in the bottom half of the map. Ornn coming down there and possibly looking to contest this. Kindred though could look to chase, gonna walk over the ward. And mid lane, Leona is trying to freeze the wave away from this turret and make sure her carries can actually come clear that one for herself. And look at the damage from Kindred. Kindred's being very brave here. Obviously also has the rapid fire cannon. Is going to be pumping out a lot of damage as well. And Ornn could be caught out here. Going to be hit by taunt. There's the Send W as well on top of that. Though Zoe is here, throwing out paddle stars. Going to try and keep Fnatic away. but they are able to take that tier 2 turret. And they also have 2 cannon minions that are baroned up, firing in a lot of shots. And that's going to be hard to clear out if you're top, because they can stay out of range. The only real wave clear that this top esports squad has is the paddle stars and the Ezreal mystic shots that are ranged and can actually do a lot of work in clearing out the waves. But with this Baron timing out here, Fnatic go back to the base. They're resetting here, looking to possibly end out this game on their next push or next team fight that happens. And more than likely, the next team fight, they will win. And you have to commend this Galio coming out from Nemesis, actually using it very well in landing them knockups in the perfect position. And also, a big MVP in this game so far is Hylissang. You have to give him a lot of credits for the use of his ultimate and the W, as he's been spot on with both of them, targeting Jackie Love in this game, making him regret coming in to this series, and Fnatic looking to basically get revenge over him, saying, hey, we remember what you did to us in 2018. We remember that you beat us, and we want revenge for it. And oh boy, Fnatic look to be getting revenge so far in this series. Already up 5k gold, and with the next Cloud Drake spawning in a minute, we could possibly see the last fight of the game in moments from right now. And Fnatic obviously setting up very well for this. We already look at the item difference between the Senna and the Ezreal. Ezreal is on 3 items, upgraded Iceborne Gauntlet as well, so 3.5 I would say, versus Senna, who's on 4, Ghostblade, IE, Rapid Fire Cannon and Mermana, versus the Death Stance, the Iceborne Gauntlet and the Mermana on the top side of things. And Fnatic looking to bait in top towards their own jungle. They want to fight here and fight around this Drake before it even spawns. Singed hovering behind this top squad as well. He wants to get in behind them, and this should be very interesting to see how these two squads fight. Sleepy Trouble Bubble will land onto Kindred, and by the looks of it, top are possibly giving this one up, as Knight roamed up to the top half of the map. He doesn't care. Top are like, we don't care. You don't gain anything realistically off of this Drake. We're the one team that's got everything to lose if we if you've got everything to lose if we get this Drake. Top are saying, so we don't need to contest you on it. You don't get soul. We just need to play smart, farm up to late game. Obviously, Ornn wants to be hitting power spikes. He's obviously tied the highest level on the top esports squad. He wants to be upgrading the items of the carries, and the only one on his team that's yet to get an upgradable item is the Graves. He's the one guy that you want to get these items upgraded on because of the fact that Fnatic are targeting out Jackie Love in the fights, and he's your other big AD carry. You need to be getting him some more power spikes if you're top. Anyway, Fnatic going to be clearing out the vision here in this Baron area, possibly looking to start this one up for themselves, with top obviously gonna try and respond. Maybe they're gonna try and clear as much vision as they can in their own jungle. True Shot Barrage is gonna be used to scout out the Baron pit. They're gonna see that they're not even on it, and what can top esports do other than farm up and try and scale to match the Fnatic squad's power spike? And Senna is one champion that cannot be outscaled. Meanwhile, Selfmade possibly could be caught out there. The collateral damage is going to be avoided, and that is just dodging out of Selfmade's Kindred dead, using the Qs perfectly to dodge out the Paddle Star and also the collateral damage from this Graves. And once again, we've got a Fnatic member sitting behind this top esports squad. Hylissang is in very deep, and he's looking to come in. There's a quickening being used. All's going to be forced to flash out, but here is the catch out. JackeyLove once again bursted out before he can even fight. Call Forge God's going to go wide on all of the Fnatic members, and top, I remember down in this base defense here, and it's one of their key wave clearing champions. Singe is just tanking up turret for himself here, and Fnatic, they're looking to turn towards the Baron. They're trying to run down. Kindred's blocking the pathway for the Zoe. She can't get anywhere near this. What can top do here? Possibly Fnatic baiting in top here, looking to set up this Baron bait, but they're starting this one up now. Top grouped up, coming into this river. We are more than likely going to see a fight here. Baron down to below 6k health right now. Fnatic coming forward. Singe is going to throw in that Ornn into the backline. Lamb's Respite popped early. What is going to come out? Ornn's going to knock up one. He's going to land down to the Kindred. Singe is forced to Zhonya's early, but Ornn is already dead in this fight. Senna manages to pick that one up for herself. Palisar's being thrown in. Here comes Rakan. He's using the quickening. He's already got that back up from the last fight, and here's the double kill over to Senna. Here is the rest of the fight as Zoe is killed. No! Zoe is still alive, but Ezreal falls once again. JackeyLove, he came back to his doom, and Leona's on the wrong side of the map. She's going to die here. That's going to be kill over to Selfmade, and that's a 4-0 in favour of Fnatic. And they're running it down the mid lane. They're looking to end game number 1 as quick as that. TP coming in from the Galio. They're looking to charge straight through this top esports base and win game 1 in this series. And what a fantastic fight around this Baron pit, as well as before that in the mid lane. Zoe is caught out here. She is not going to be killed off though just yet. Call of Forge God is going to be used though. Dawn Shadow is going to be used over top Providing Shield, and that does not matter. Fnatic pick up game number 1 in this series, and that was a dominant showing out of the bot lane from Fnatic. That was huge in my opinion. That was the best from Fnatic we've seen this entire year, and you could see that in just the target selection coming out from the bot lane. Constant harassment onto JackeyLove. Hylissang was on point with his Rakan. The quickening just landing almost every single time. And where was the support from the top esports support player? He did not provide any peeling for JackeyLove. He was nowhere near him most of the times he was caught out. And because of that, Fnatic were just able to punish the Rakan, who's meant to be countered by a Leona. Gets scot-free with everything. And Hylissang and Reckless must be feeling good after such a perfect game number 1. That being said, there were some positives for top. Knight was unkillable. He managed to stay alive through the entire game. Did not get punished on his Zoe. Granted, the funneling all the gold into him didn't work out in the end because they still lost that game. But there's still a lot of hope if you're top esports going into the rest of this series. Anyway, that's going to be it for this Anarchy analysis. Finally, we've covered the quarterfinals, and I can say that if you enjoyed this episode, leave a like down below. Subscribe if you're around here if you want to, and I will see you guys later for All Stars, I guess. Peace out.